Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this episode I decided to make a fishing rod storage bin, and as you can see I've got some really thick leftover pieces of MDF there, which will be great for this project because they're really heavy, so the bin will stay upright and it won't fall over hopefully. So now I'm just marking up with a set square the width of the box, and now I'm just ripping it down on my table saw. In the end I actually made the width as wide as my fence would go on my table saw, so I just maxed out the fence and used that, and that was fine. So I'm just going to rip down 4 sides, and now I'm just using one of the pieces just to mark up along the edge so that I can see where I need to drill the screw holes. So now I'm just going to drill, I think about 8 holes per side. I want to make this box nice and sturdy, heavy and strong. And now I'm just using a handheld countersink to just get those holes ready for the screws to go in. Now I'm just going to line up the top piece to the 2 sides, and I'm just adding some wood glue there to make sure I get a really nice bond. So now I'm just I've got it all lined up, sat on top, and I'm just going to drill down into the side pieces to complete the pilot hole, and I've got some drywall screws that I'm going to use to fix it all together. I've got loads of these left over from my workshop build. I'm just making sure everything is nice and square, getting it all lined up neat. And now I'm just going to repeat the process on the other side, so I'm just adding some more glue. I think that MDF is about something like 22mm thick. It's really thick stuff. It's got a lot of density, a lot of weight to it. It's perfect for an indoor project like this one. And as I said earlier, it's got a lot of weight to it, so it will stand upright. And when all the rods are in there, it won't fall over. You could also use this for things like walking sticks or umbrellas. So now I've just got a 5th piece that I cut on the table saw, and I'm just going to line that up on the bottom to make a bottom, and I've just marked it up. Now I'm adding some glue to the bottom, and I'm just going to cut that on my miter saw. And just to avoid the existing screws, I've actually screwed it in the middles rather than in the corners of the bottom, as you can see there. I've already countersunk it, and again I'm just putting some drywall screws in there and making sure I've got a nice tight glue squeeze out. And when that glue's dry, the bottom should never come off. The whole structure should be really solid. So to protect the end grain at the top of this box, I had some old bits of plywood, and I've just cut them down to the width of the wood I'm using there, and I'm going to attach those on now, and that will just protect the end grain from getting damaged and splintered when things are being put in and out of it. And I've just glued it again, and I'm attaching it with some panel pins. As you can see, it doesn't look like there's a lot of room inside the box, but there's probably room for about 6 or 7 rods, maybe even a little bit more. So you could repeat this process, just make a bigger box. Really good for just putting in the corner of a room, out of the way. Keeps all the rods upright, stops them falling over. So now I'm just giving it a quick sand down, and I'm going to coat it with some slate grey decking stain, just to protect the wood from moisture, just to make it a little bit water resistant if any water was to splash on it. As I say, this is not an outside sort of project. So there it is finished. I did add some little handles. I had some leftover little bits of pine from a pallet wood. I just screwed and glued them on, just so that I can move it around. With a few coats of the stain, it did come out like more black than grey. And there I'm just adding a bit of aluminium bubble wrap that I've got left over. I've just put that in the bottom, so when the rods go in, it just protects the butt end of the rod. There you can see all the rods in. Well, not all of them, but just demonstrating. I've got 5 or 6 rods in there, and it keeps them nice and upright, and it's really sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Perfect. So thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please leave a like below, and I'll see you on the next video.